Mr. Long for 4 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Dorsey, for being here. I think it's pretty easy to understand why you've been as successful as you have, because your mannerisms today, your decorum. A lot of people come into these hearings and they practice and they coach them and they tell them how to act. It's obvious that no one did that for you. You are who you are, and that shows today, and I think that that has a lot to do with how successful you've been. So thank you for your time and being here today.
Thank you.
I do have a couple of questions. Mr. Bilirakis asked you about moments. I'm not sure exactly what moments are, but when my staff got a hold of me a couple of days ago, they said, well, what do you want to ask Mr. Dorsey? Where do you want to take this? What direction? Do a little research. And I just, off the top of my head, I said, well, let me send you some stuff. So I started shooting them emails. And these are emails that I received. They're called highlights, as you're familiar with, daily highlights to my personal Twitter account about the most interesting content from Twitter that is tailored just for me. And when we're talking about impartiality and, somebody said the Republicans are all full of conspiracy theories over here, I just want you to, you're a thoughtful guy, I just want you to take into consideration what I'm going to say and do with it what you want to. But if you're saying, hey, we're impartial, we really are, this, that, and the other, I just started firing off emails to my ledge director, and I sent him 14 emails of highlights that were sent to me just in the last few days. And I guess, might have been over 14 days. I don't know how often you send them, but there's 6 highlighted tweets per email. So that's a total of 84 recent examples that you all picked out and said, hey, this conservative congressman from Missouri, and thank goodness you're a Cardinal fan, but and you being from Missouri, but this conservative congressman, we found out what this guy wants to read, and here it is. 12 of them, of the 84, were from Glenn Thrush, reporter for the New York Times. Maggie Halberman, you sent me 9 from her, White House correspondent for the New York Times, political analyst for CNN. Chris Cizilla, political commentator for CNN. David Frum, senior editor at The Atlantic and MSNBC contributor. Nicole Wallace, current anchor of Deadline, White House, and chief political analyst for MSNBC and NBC News. Sam Stein, former political editor of the Huffington Post, politics editor at the Daily Beast, and MSNBC contributor. Rep. Eric Swalwell, Democratic congressman from California's 15th District. Robert Costa, national political reporter for the Washington Post, a political analyst for NBC News and MSNBC. Caitlin Collins, White House correspondent for CNN. Michael Schmidt, New York Times correspondent, contributor to MSNBC and NBC. Tommy Vietor, former spokesman for President Obama. David Korn, MSNBC analyst and author of the Russian Roulette book. Casey Hunt, NBC News correspondent, host of MSNBC show. Richard Painter, commentator on MSNBC and CNN, outspoken critic of Trump. David Axelrod, commentator for CNN, former chief strategist for Obama's campaign, senior advisor to Obama. I did not cherry pick these. Here's a Republican, or former Republican. I'm not sure what he is now, but you did send me one from Bill Kristol, founder and editor of the At-Large Weekly, and a vocal supporter and a never Trumper guy. And you did send me another one from a Fox News. I'll put that in there. Britt Hume, senior political analyst for Fox News Channel. I want to submit these for the record so you can peruse them at your leisure. That's the only 2 I remember being Republican, Kristol, and out of 84 that were handpicked, tailored for me because they know what I want to read. But Glenn Thrush, Chris Cizilla, it just goes on and on. I have, 14 pages of them here. And they're all pretty much Trump bashing. They're all pretty much Trump bashing. If you just go right down the line, one after another. So just, if you will, take that into consideration. And again, I do. And I think that there was a fake news tweet sent out yesterday by a guy that was sitting here earlier, and he's not here anymore. But reporter John Gizzi, sent out a fake news tweet yesterday. He said he was headed to the Nationals Park and he was going to watch him beat the Cardinals. That was fake news. I yield back.
Thank you. It doesn't sound like we served you well in matching your interests.